You open the app for 30 seconds, maybe less, and somehow you already feel worse about your life than you did before you picked up your phone. You didn't lose anything. Nothing changed. But something inside you shifted, quietly, automatically, the moment you saw what someone else had. That feeling has a name, and the reason it exists goes back much further than social media, further than television, further than the first newspaper or the first mirror. The reason you compare yourself to others is ancient. It is structural. It is written into the way your brain was built. And for most of human history, it kept you alive. This is the story of social comparison. And it is stranger than you think. In 1954, a social psychologist named Leon Festinger proposed something called social comparison theory. His idea was simple but radical. Human beings have a drive, a genuine biological drive, to evaluate themselves, not against an abstract standard, not against some internal ideal, against other people. Festinger argued that when objective measures are unavailable, you look sideways. You look at whoever is nearest, and you measure. He was right, but he only found part of the answer. Go back 200,000 years. Your ancestors lived in small groups, bands of 20 to 50 individuals. Every person in that group was your entire world. There was no outside. There was no elsewhere. And in that world, your position within the group was not a matter of ego. It was a matter of survival. If you were high status, you ate first. You chose your mate first. You had allies who would protect you when a threat appeared. If you were low status, you waited. You were left behind. You were expendable. Status was not vanity. Status was life. So your brain evolved a system, a constant background monitoring process, to track where you stood. It watched who was stronger, who was more respected, who was getting more food, more attention, more trust from the group. It updated constantly, and every time it detected that someone else had gained what you lacked, it fired an alarm. That alarm is what you feel now. Scrolling. The neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky spent decades studying the biology of social hierarchy in baboons and found that chronic low status was not just psychologically uncomfortable, it was physically corrosive. Low-ranking animals showed elevated cortisol, compromised immune function, shortened telomeres. Their bodies were aging faster because of where they stood in the group. The stress of comparison was not metaphorical. It was cellular. Your brain does not know you are looking at a stranger's vacation photos. It does not know the group is now 8 billion people. It runs the same ancient code it always ran. It sees someone above you on the hierarchy. It fires. You feel it. You close the app. You open it again 30 seconds later. But here is the part that Festinger noticed and most people miss. Comparison runs in both directions. When you look down, when you see someone struggling more than you, someone who has less, the alarm goes quiet. A different signal fires. Something that researchers call downward comparison. It feels like relief. It feels, if you are honest, like something slightly shameful. A quiet satisfaction that the bottom is not where you are. Both of these signals, the anxiety of upward comparison and the relief of downward comparison, serve the same ancient purpose. They were calibration tools. They told your ancestors exactly where they stood, so they could decide how hard to fight, when to defer, when to push. A researcher named Thomas Wills formalized this in 1981, describing how people under threat instinctively seek out those who are worse off, not out of cruelty, out of regulation. The brain is trying to reset its threat level. It uses other people the way it uses a compass. The problem is the compass was designed for a group of 50, not 50 million.